Company hired an alcoholic and assigned him to my team. What do I do? I am not op. Original post by you, Swamphockey and our managers. Trigger warnings. Alcoholism. Less than. Mood spoilers. Infuriating. Less than. And NBSP. Company hired an alcoholic and assigned him to my team. What do I do? October 24, 2023. Our organization recently hired a project manager and assigned him to my team. The man, however, routinely smells of alcohol, frequently staggers when he walks, and sometimes his hands shake so violently he's unable to take meeting notes. He also is not at his desk working when he should be and falsifies his timesheet. He's fallen asleep at his desk. This is all in the first 2 weeks of employment. My supervisor, the division manager, and his supervisor, the department manager, have warned me repeatedly to not follow the standard procedure established by the hour office. Instead, I need to make this work, and to not put any of this behavior in writing because of liability and accountability. Relevant comments. From you, Bohati. Falsifying a timesheet is immediate termination for me. Why can't you discipline him pursuant to your company's standard policy? OOP's response: the standard policy is we simply have them correct the timesheet. Also last week the hour office said this. 1. They advised me to follow the standard process for staff members reasonable suspected of being under the influence. That is to escort them to the HR for a breathalyzer test. 2. The new hire is still considered an applicant until 6 months probationary period has elapsed. 3. HR said they would interview the new hire to determine any legitimate explanation for the behavior. Apparently, alcohol abuse could be an ADA-accommodated disability for applicants and employees. If it's being treated? In the meantime, HR suggested the new hire not drive company vehicles pending evaluation. Today my department manager instructed me to not to talk to HR anymore and to not do what they told me to do. From you, Island Girl 321. In response to OOP's response, I would have your boss put those instructions in writing and then take it to HR. It's clear that this new hire and your boss are friends, and if anything happens your boss with throw you under the bus. And NBSP. Update to company hired an alcoholic and assigned him to my team December 7, 2023. After 2 months the staff member continues to be employed by the company yet has proven incapable and unable to function and has come to learn almost nothing about the assigned projects. Arriving late, leaving early and missing days altogether. Falling asleep at his desk and even one time in a conference room falling asleep during an important meeting, often smelling of peppermint schnapps. He is not a functional alcoholic and has conducted no meaningful work whatsoever, all on a 6-figure salary. The department manager, who my boss reports to, last week, indicated, via back channels, that he would not block the dismissal of this staff member. However, requiring it to be done through HR and in such a way that he will not be held accountable for any decisions. Also, he still doesn't want anything in writing. So last week I went to the hour office on how to do this. Not email. And they provided me printout of a 7-page PIP template and wished me luck. They will not put anything in writing, nor will they tell me what to do. They would not email me the template. Today, totally unrelated to any of this, our office held a workshop focused on company values of accountability, ethics, and continuous improvement. The staff member had been drinking. I asked the division manager, my boss, how this situation should be handled in light of company values. It was a long conversation. He called HR, who conducted a breathalyzer. They would not tell me the results, but suspended the staff member for 3 days and won't tell me anything else. It continues to be an incredible situation. I'm convinced that this staff member is not a personal friend of anyone. The situation appears to be this. The department manager, who is a PhD, will simply not accept that he personally made a poor hiring decision. He was the only one involved. He's proud of his talent management certifications, and somehow thinks that this will all just work out. Reminder: I am not the original poster. Marked as ongoing since the employee is still employed by OOP's company. So last week I went to the Our office on how to do this. Not email. And they provided me printout of a 7-page PIP template and wished me luck. They will not put anything in writing, nor will they tell me what to do. They would not email me the template. If people won't put things in writing, then do it for them. As per our conversation, repeat until they reply. I feel for OOP. They are going to end up taking the fall for this somehow. If he's still on the probation period, that's exactly the time to realize you made a mistake and zip them before they can do real damage. I've seen multiple studies showing that best hirers are only marginal better than the average. If that, in my experience, what makes a good manager isn't how good they are at hiring. It's what they do with staff after they're hired, including getting rid of the bad ones. All it takes is one taped incident in public with a hashtag, and OP's company will have its hands full trying to protect its A. I worked for a company in which my boss was a raging alcoholic. He'd come in and immediately start drinking. If he showed up at all, it was a mess that went on for a long time. We went to the president of the company, who was his drinking buddy, affair partner. She did nothing about it. We complained to HR. And then corporate HR. No response. It came to a head when he got hammered at work and out his hands on another employee. Took 4 of us to break up the fight. Finally corporate HR was involved, and wanted to fire the employee who was assaulted, not the boss. After all their interviews, they were shocked to learn that this had been happening. Apparently they had no idea until they came to talk to us, and we all took the chance to tell them what was up. In the end, the boss and the president were terminated. Thankfully. MFER taking home a 6-figure salary while getting tanked all day. If I saw someone at my work getting away with it, I'd roll in with a 12-pack the next day. Honestly speaking, as someone in academia, I have seen more than a few PhDs double down on very poor decisions. I definitely could see this as someone who can't admit they made a bad hiring decision. I would have been terminated in days, if not a week, if I'd pulled any of this stuff. If he drives to, from work, call the police as soon as he leaves and give them his license plate and tell them he is either drunk or under the influence of medication. They will get his home address and be waiting for him. This takes the responsibility from OOP, and now it is a police matter. Nah, the guy knows someone. Or something. Both sad, for the addict, and infuriating, for the people who have to pick up the extra work. Hopefully OOP can look for another job, because I wouldn't want to work for a place that allows this to happen. HR conducted a breathalyzer test? That doesn't seem like a common practice or something they would have access to. Do companies do this and I'm just ill-informed? I don't get it. Isn't keeping the alcoholic on a WAAAY bigger liability than firing him? I pray the next update is OP has a new job. The explanation at the end reminds me of a situation with my last manager. The manager has had numerous complaints from various people and multiple resignations. Almost 20 in about 6 months. But the district manager doesn't have the ears to hear it and just continues to let things go along as they are. It occurred to me that the DM may not be able to handle the psychological ramifications of realizing that she 1. Put this person in the position and 2. Ignored repeated cries for help from her employees. They should call the cops when he leaves work so he gets a Dewey. My God. Does the Department of Labor know about this? Hopefully OP is documenting everything and looking for a new job. Does anyone else see, mood spoiler, infuriating, and get a little too excited? I know we're supposed to hold on jobs until we can get a new one, but I would have resigned. Included all this in the resignation letter email. And taken the unemployment time than deal with being in the middle of this. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.